Hey everybody, I wanted to do a video here, process video for my next challenge for July. And what I'm going to be using is, I'm sure I'm mispronouncing it, but Kitsuiji Inspiration Sweet Collection. And I'm recording this in June. So this sweet collection, all sweet collections are buy one, get one half off. So this is a great one to add if you are thinking about getting a couple sweets. Because I love the paper in here. This is just gorgeous, gorgeous paper and product. So I'm going to use this, all the product from here, from the suite, for my challenge. So the challenge is to, from the album, the annual catalog, I should say, from Stampin' Up! That came out in May. My upline challenged us to do a monthly template, and the one for July is to use this, to make this tag and then a card using these templates, and then let's see, May, June, so this particular template for July. And so that's what I'm going to be creating, and then I'll do a coordinating page for this using all the product in the suite. Plus I am going to add some gold, brushed gold foil paper. This is currently on Last Chance, so as I'm filming this, it's the brushed silver and gold foil. You get I think it's 6 sheets, 3 of each, for $5, and so this is a really good deal. So I'm going to use this as the gold accent, and then I'm going to add some cards, coordinating cardstock for my for both the tag and the card and the scrapbook layout. And then here is all the gorgeous paper. So what you get with the suite is you get this die, and then the stamp set, and then these beautiful floral flower accents that are in gold. It's really pretty. And then I love this embossing folder. So this kind of gives you a look. It's a joined together embossing folder. And so when you run it through the embossing machine, it'll come out with all these different patterns like that. And you can either cut them apart or like emboss a partial, like they're showing on some of these. And you could even use it to cut out for the veins. And then here's the paper. I'm just going to quickly show you what it all looks like, because this is just gorgeous paper. It's, let's see, Basic Beige, Cloud Cover, which is new, Lost Lagoon, Misty Moonlight, Old Olive, Petal Pink, and then Gold. So so you have like an A side and the B side. So I'll flip this over. A side is the more decorative pieces, and usually a little bit busier. And then your B is not as busy. So like you have this one, and then this is the back. And then this one, oh, isn't that pretty? So this, like, you'd run it through the embossing folder, and it would do the different embossing sections. And I'll show you how to do that. And then this is the back. So really pretty. And then this one, this is so pretty. I love this. It's blue, and then this is the back. And then some of these, the dies, you can cut out parts from the paper. Most of the DSP that have a suite, DSP is Designer Series paper, if it has the dies with the suite, most of them have dies that you can cut things out with. So this and this. So it makes it easy. You don't have to stamp. If you don't want to, you can just use the die machine and cut out. And actually, I wonder if, let's see if this works. This might, yep, cuts out the flower too. So really, really cute. Which I love that about Stampin' Up!, that they coordinate so some of the paper with the dies. And then this is the back. So if you don't want to cut out these individual pieces, or you have a little bit left over, you can certainly use the back for your other layouts and stuff. And then here's this one. So the A sections on all this paper, as you can see, they all have gold foil, and then the back doesn't. So this one, this is that pretty misty moonlight, and then here's the back. So really, really pretty. I'm so excited to use this paper. When this catalog came out, I fell in love with this suite. This is the first thing that I bought with the catalog when we could do pre-order, and I just haven't had a chance to delve into it. They did not do a scrapbook workshop with this paper. I think they thought it'd be more for cards, but I am going to show you how I'll use it on that one scrapbook page. I think it'd just be gorgeous on there. So anyway, so I'll pause for now. I'm going to get my stuff together, and then I'll be right back. Hello, so we are back. So I'm going to just walk you through kind of what I did. I used a blending brush and used Lost Lagoon and just kind of put this in certain spots, and then I gutted out from Lost Lagoon 1/2 inch all the way around, and then I used this as my frame. So that's what I did so far. And then as a reminder, we're going to be using this template here. So this is kind of going to be our guide. So I'm just going to kind of place this. These are squares that I cut out using the Stylish Shapes, which if you're looking for kind of an all-purpose die to get, one that has squares and circles, I highly recommend that one, because you get this cute little dotted outline around all the product that you cut out, and it has both squares and circles. So I use this thing constantly. Like probably every layout I've done or card has some of these pieces. That's my dog that you can hear in the background. Mojo is coughing. Anyway, so I'm just going to kind of space this out. And then I did use the dies and the embossing folder that comes with this suite. So I love the suite. And it's the I'll pull it up in the catalog so you can see it. It's the Kintsugi. I gotta look up how to pronounce that, but I just love this suite. It's just gorgeous product, and again, it's buy one suite get one 50% off for the month of June. My challenge for this layout is a July layout, but so you can jump on board and order this, and then you can create the same layout that I'm doing if you'd want. So let's go back to this. Pull it up so we have it next out. Okay, so I am going to, let's see, so I'm going to use this kind of circle as like my anchor to kind of cement having this little piece here, and then I'm going to put a circle here, and I'm just going to kind of play with it to see how I like this to look. But I think this looks really good, and it kind of, these zoom out a little bit, so it kind of helps, you know, you got kind of this triangle going on with the blending brush pieces and this. So, and then I'm pretty much done. I'm probably going to add, well, I'll add my title here, of course, and then add some other little pieces. But let's get this stuff glued down, and then we'll make our cluster of products. So what I like to do is, I'm going to move this off to the side a little bit so I can put this straight on my board so I can line things up. And so I like to kind of get this. This is, I'm not usually pretty picky. I tend to just kind of eyeball things, but in this case, because you do want these squares to be lined up. So I think the best thing is to start on your two outers and then move in. So I'm going to just put these down, and you can use you know, dimensionals to bump up the if you want some of your paper, but I'm going to do all flat, and I'm going to just kind of line that up and do a T-square. So let's kind of get that here. Move this up. If you have a T-square, I recommend using it because it'll save you so much inks, especially if you are one of those that doesn't like to eyeball things and you want it to be very precise. So let's get that lined up. Okay, so we're going to do this one here, and I'm going over, looks like about 3, well, here, I'll go over 1 inch just to make it easier, and then for everybody. So about 1 inch in, and then I'm using the two-tone cardstock. So all cardstock is the two-tone, and I like the two-tone because you have 2 different colors, and it helps to you know, get some variety into your artwork. So go over about 1/2 inch here, and about oh, actually, so now that I'm lining this up, this is kind of crooked. Let's spread this out just a tad, so you can get this all lined up. So I do like to use adhesive that I can lift up if needed, as you can see. And then you can always go back in with liquid glue and, you know, nail down those little parts and pieces that, like the corners and stuff. But I do that at the end because a lot of times I like to tuck things in. And if you're a tucker like I am, that's why I, when you see me do the adhesive here, I just pretty much put it in the middle because that way I can move it and lift up easily or tuck things into the side there. Let's get that lined up. 1/2 inch over, so I need to do right there. Okay. There we go. Isn't this sweet so pretty? I just love how, you know, you have the gold accents and you have all the different, you know, the embossing folder, and it actually, it's not that expensive of a suite. It's one of the lower priced ones, surprisingly. And the paper pack is one of the higher priced ones, but the actual suite is like a lower priced one. It's not, you know, like over $100 like some of the other ones. I think it's in the 70s. I'll pull it up in the catalog in a minute just to confirm, but I just think that you know, this one is just gorgeous, and it's perfect for cards. But I wanted to show you what you can do with it for a layout. And this particular layout is perfect for like a busier kind of paper because you could just do the small squares like I did. And then that, you know, you can see all the beautiful designs. Oops. See all the beautiful designs and in that gorgeous paper. But yet you can, it doesn't look so busy because you're, move this up here. It doesn't look so busy because then you're just showing parts of it. So kind of hard to talk and do this at the same time. So I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone and do these videos. I'm not necessarily doing it live, but I am doing it and just recording off the cuff and not like recording my actions and then going in and talking, because I find that if I do that, I just never get around to posting it because it just takes me longer. So I'm like, okay, we just got to get this going. I do want to point out this particular one, I embossed it. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if you can see how pretty that is. But isn't that gorgeous? So that's another thing you can do with these, with your embosser, is just emboss parts of the cardstock that you're using, or the even the pattern paper. It just kind of brings out that little extra. So let's see here. So now I'm going to build my cluster. So that's these pieces. and we're gonna put these down here, right? So this is also part of the die, the dies that you have. So I just cut out a scratch paper. So some of them are a little bit clipped and some are the full piece. But I knew I was going to just kind of use it to tuck in behind things. So that's why I just use like my scratch paper to, because this paper is so pretty. I just wanted to kind of get that, just that little bit of extra piece in there. And then, so I think that'll look good. And then I'm going to put dimensionals on the circle to pop it up. So let's get that going. I think this looks nice. So actually, I think I'm going to do a dimensional on this too, because this needs to really stand out. And yes, I'm using some old dimensionals that I had from my previous consulting position. But again, you know, use up your scraps because that gives you an excuse to get new stuff. So I've been hoarding this glue. I don't think you can even find it anymore. This was close to my heart exclusive. I hope Stampin' Up! Brings this back because I love this little glue pen. And I'm almost out. Sad. Okay, so we're going to kind of put that in like that. And then I'm going to pop that up. I love dimensionals. I love to add that little bit of extra pop, and both on cards and on layouts. I think it just kind of adds that extra bit. And then the other good thing about it is you can tuck things in. And I deliberately left that, so because it's a solid piece, I can either do a little journaling here, or I can put like a small picture there. So, okay, now let's build this. This one I'm going to leave, well, actually, I think I'll pop that up too. So, and since it's kind of off to the side, I'm just going to put it on that one side. One trick I learned, so if you know that, like, I'm going to pop this up like here, I don't necessarily need this piece removed for gluing, but I need it to add that pop-up, so just don't remove the glue section. So there you go. And then this piece, I need to add a little glue to it. So Stampin' Up! Has a liquid glue that has a really fine tip to it, and I love that one too. It's just kind of lost in with all my stuff right now, but I highly recommend that one too, although they seem to run out a lot on that. So I'm always, every time it comes in stock, I go in and order more, but because I use I cut out a lot of fine pieces like this, and especially on vellum, it's good for vellum. So you need that little bit. Okay, so let's pop this up. And this I'm going to try and get mostly, actually I might just only put it in the center because I want to be able to tuck it. Actually, here we go. I want to be able to tuck it, you know, over these squares so that I can add, again, so I can add journaling here if I want to, or a picture. So there we go. And kind of decide on my title. So I'm going to pause for a minute and then I'll come right back. Okay, I am back and I'm going to do my title. Now you may think that looks awfully small, Debbie, for a title, but I'll show you how to make it seem bigger than it is. So I'm going to use There's Beauty in Your History. Because I think we went to visit my in-laws, and I'm going to use pictures from that. And the first time you get a stamp, especially the clean ones, you don't really have to do this too, but the polymer ones, you want to kind of get the oils off. So just kind of tap it on your skin to get the factory oils off. Otherwise, sometimes it gets like splotchy look. And then I just use the Petal Pink two-tone cardstock, and I'm using the light side. So there's a dark side is more the true color, and then lighter is just a little bit lighter. So because I use the Lost Lagoon, I'm just going to keep using that ink. Of course, a brown or anything a basic would work as well, but I want to show that you could get by with just the one ink color. You don't have to invest in a lot of stuff to be able to do what I'm doing. So I'm just going to kind of, and this die is part of this little oblong kind of shaped one is part of the die that comes with the suite. So it's the shape here. And I think that looks good. Sometimes when I stamp, I'll do like a little bit of color behind it. But I didn't do that this time just because it's the colors. But if it was white, I would especially do that because I kind of want to add that little bit of color to it. But in this case, I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to try something a little different. We'll see how it looks. And if we don't like it, we can just start over. So I use the folder that this suite comes with, which is this embossing folder. And as you can see, you have different looks, right? So my thought is to cut out either this and then kind of have that up at the top. Actually, I think that's what I'm going to use because I could do this one, which is shorter, but I think this one looks really cool. So I'm just going to hand cut it out. Let's see how this looks. So you have that the vein. So I'm just going to follow along there and kind of hand cut it. And I think I don't want the vein. Well, maybe I will do that vein because actually, now that I think about it, that would look cool if I cut that vein out in the gold. So, ooh, actually, now that I think about it, so I'll cut this off so that the vein will show underneath when I do it in gold. Again, you know, this is my process. I think of things as I'm doing it. So, and just kind of wing it. That's how I think. So we're just going to cut that along. And then this would go here. I'll probably pop it. And now I'm going to cut out that piece in the gold. Okay, I cut this out. Look how pretty that is. It just really pops that up. And I think this is going to look really cool because it's going to be kind of, so this would go here. And then I'll cut out that vein and just kind of have it around the edge there. So, yeah, so I think that's going to look really pretty. And it'll be kind of part of this whole aesthetic that we're going for here. So just cutting along. And there we go. Okay, so let's get this in here. And this will just kind of play right there. Yep. Okay, I'm going to pop this. Oops. I feel like I need a little ink there. Let's kind of ink this up a little bit. Here, got my Lost Lagoon. There it is. These foam brushes, Stampin' Up! Has these as well. They're gray. I use these constantly, so highly recommend. You know what? Shoot, I had ink on my finger. I'm going to redo that because I don't like that splotch right there. Okay, so I fixed my little mistake there, and now I just used a dimensional to pop it up onto the Lost Lagoon. And now I'm going to cut out the vein. So I'm going to leave a little bit of a lip to this so I make it easy to attach. And so since this is just going to be a lip, I don't need to be totally exact in cutting it out, but I want to leave enough room to adhere this to my Lost Lagoon. And I'm doing that because this is so pretty. I'm going to use this for other pieces. Okay, and I'm going to use, what I'm going to do is actually run the glue along the gloss legume. I think that would be easier than doing it on the gold. Okay, so we're going to kind of line this up and just kind of, and I could have a little bit of the embossing show through like that. There, and then I'm going to just trim this little tail there. So, and then I think I'm going to put something off to the side. I might actually move this over just a tad, because otherwise it looks like this, you know, like a sharp edge right here. Oh, by the way, the stylish shapes, I just want to show this to you real quick. So this is what you all got with the stylish shapes. You get all these. So it's really a good deal. You get this graduated circles and the graduated squares, and then you have these pieces. So highly recommend. You will see me using this a lot over and over again. So I'm going to tuck some of these little pieces in here that I cut. And this is part of the die that you get. So I like that. Let's see. So we're basically creating a cluster here. And I did cut out these little circles. Let's see, maybe we need something here. Or maybe here to kind of counteract that little sharp edge. Actually, I kind of like that. And yeah, we're just kind of building this title up. So maybe do another little vase here. Kind of like the pink. Kind of counteract that look. And this can kind of be like a bridge between them. Kind of draw attention to the title. There, and then this off to the side. Yeah, I think that looks cute. Okay, so I'm going to glue this down. Let's flip this over. Gonna have this hang in here. I think I'm going to leave this flat. One of the stamps that this set comes with has this really pretty floral piece. And I did cut some of these out, so I might have that popping out of this. And then we decided to use this one. Yeah, so let me grab those and I'll be right back. So this is the pieces that you can cut out from the paper, but it also has a stamp. So if you want to change the color or do something, you know, a little bit different, you can always stamp it and color it that way. So I'm going to glue this down real quick, and then I'll stick my flower in that little vase. Okay. I want that little gold to show, so just glue that down there. Whoops. Kind of hold it for a sec. And then just kind of pop this in like that. And this will, by gluing on the flower there like that, it'll kind of help hold this little piece behind there as well. So we have that, and then I'm going to glue this down here. So again, we're creating more cluster, and we're trying to make the title bigger. You know, so it takes up more room on the layout. So, and I'm just gonna kind of lay that there. So, and with the stylish shapes, I did cut out like some of these other pieces, and I might kind of get this glue in here. Kind of just put it down below. And then that'll help cement that down as well. So let's get that in. And I think I'm going to pop this up there, like that. Maybe I will pop this. I think this would look good if it was popped. Let's see here. Again, this is my process video, so it's not, you know, not everything's thought out ahead of time. I'm just doing it on the fly, so you can kind of get a feel for how I create things and do things. So there. So now that is my title. And let's get our page here. And that out of the way. There. So now that just kind of ties everything in together, and you have this triangle going on too, so that kind of draws your eye. A triangle, you'd like to have like groups of 3, or creating a triangle to kind of draw the eye to reviewing your layout. So I'm just going to glue this all down, and again, I'm using up some of my old stuff so we can get new stuff. And there we go. So I might even, let's see, I feel like I need something there, but oh, I know it. That's what I'll do. I'll put my flower there so it's coming out of the base. That looks a little too busy. Maybe it'll be, I think it'll be just fine the way it is. I could put a flower here too, but I think I'm just going to leave it as is. I might do some journaling over here, or even on these squares, and then I can put my pictures here. So let's see, did they show? No, on the diagram they didn't show different where to put pictures. So you could do like a 4x4 here and here, and do like a flip flap, or you could do a 4x6 here with a flip flap if you want, or just leave it, or you could just turn these into small pictures, the 2x2, and just kind of have an assortment. That'd be really cute, like especially if you're doing like close-ups of flowers in somebody's garden, and just kind of have various garden pictures. That would be cute too. Okay, so this one's done. I will do the companion layout, but for that one, I'll just do like a reel to show how I do that one. Thanks for watching.